Hello, my name is Charity, and I am your host of Come Together Social Media. Thank you guys for tuning in. And as we come together, grow together, talk together as a community, I am excited to share some things with you. Now, this week has been an interesting week. We have dealt with a lot this week. So let's just delve right in. Let's jump right in. Most of the times, people I see on their podcast, they'll have like some wine, you get to talk and have some wine downtime, but I don't drink. So we are going to have my favorite thing, which is peach tea. I love tea. So, yes. So you'll see me with lots of different drinks, and but I have some tea, and I'm going to sip. I know I shouldn't slurp. Forgive me, but so we're going to sit together and talk together. So let's get started. Okay, so Come Together is about the community coming together and sharing information and being very transparent. And a lot of times that is very hard to do. And we saw that firsthand with the Red Table Talks. So, the Red Table Talk, a lot of people don't know, but it came out several years before and it didn't really, I guess it didn't pick up well, but it came out again later, couple of years later, and it just kind of took off. So I commend Jada on sticking with her baby, the Red Table Talk series, because it really allows our community to talk and communicate, similar to Come Together. But the thing about it is, when it came time for there to be a roundtable talk about August Alsina, and he had his own interview without the Red Table, without Jada producing it, without her hosting it and orchestrating it and controlling the narrative, it definitely seemed to make Jada uncomfortable, and that's understandable. But she did come out later having an interview with her husband, which I thought was really good. And he explained his position, where they were in their relationship in the middle of, they were, he was like, look, I was through. And she was like, hey, you know what? And he was like, what did you do, Jada? And her response was, I love that her response wasn't premeditated. It wasn't pre-scripted. It wasn't something that they ran through a couple of times. She said, and you could see the despair in her face and having to open up. And I do feel like when you're in the public eye, it is a huge level of transparency that you have to have when you're sharing information. It's happened to so many people, from Oprah Winfrey to Wendy Williams and to Will and Jada. And Jada was like, listen, I was in an entanglement with August. And so for her, it wasn't more of a relationship, there was an entanglement. Now, I've never heard that word used to define a relationship, but I think as a Black community, we all have a lot of little entanglements going on, and we have to begin to untangle the entanglement, and that was her effort to do so. So, to that, I say, good job on spilling your own tea and owning your truth. And as far as August, I definitely understood where he was coming from. But as a person that has gone through my own breakups, my own separations in the midst of a divorce, things I've gone through that. Um, I feel like, it's one of those things where I believe that in the process, his feelings and his emotions got involved. and maybe it wasn't reciprocated in the way that he wanted it to be reciprocated by Jada. But I do feel like some people can get caught in the middle of relationships, in the middle of breakups, and it seems like they were used. And I'm glad that she helped him in his healing process by owning the fact that, hey, no, you weren't just, a hookup, you weren't a secret, you were a person, your feelings matter. And it can be difficult as a person that's on the outside looking in to see what the world considers this perfect couple, and you're in a relationship with this person, but no one will. They're never going to admit it. So, it's important with celebrities to realize that they are human and that there are no perfect couples. So, I commend Will and Jada for. Being a true friend to August Alsina in that and in the healing process, even after the fact of the breakup. Because I know plenty of us, when we break up with a person, we don't want to own that truth that we were ever even dating that person. Mm, I'm gonna just sip some tea on that, So because it might have ended badly, it might have been like, well, what was I thinking? So but moving on from there, because I want to get right to the point. This week has been a week. It kind of began with the whole Will and Jada thing right at the top of the week, towards the end of last week, and it just kind of rolled and rolled and rolled. So we had Will and Jada. Um, uh, we had Megan the Stallion, who was shot. We had um, from Wildin' Out, Nick Cannon was fired. Luckily, P. Diddy has stepped in and offered for Revolt TV, his company. He said, come on over to Revolt. So I'm glad Black Power, Black business, do right by each other when you're in a position to do so. So I hope P. Diddy does the right thing and really helps promote the growth um, of Nick Cannon's career. And I believe that when people like Jay-Z and all of these major players really get involved in backing other black artists, I think it will really take our community to a bigger level, don't you? So if you feel that way, let's sip on that. You all thought I wasn't serious about my tea, but I am serious about my tea. Um, and so then we had the situation with Megan Stallion, and I thank God, like I was thinking about this last night. Megan Thee Stallion could have been killed, and she would have been like a modern version of Aaliyah. Aaliyah has been someone that we, even though she wasn't shot, it was a loss at an early age and a pivotal time of her career. Aaliyah was very well known. She was this star in her own right, and her music lives on today. And Megan Thee Stallion has been doing exceptionally great music and has really taken off in the TikTok community with her songs during COVID. And so, I am very glad that she was able to walk away from this because they say she was shot several times in the foot. I mean, to know that somebody intentionally wanted to cause harm to you, that's disheartening. So I pray that she's healing in this process of protecting her energy and protecting her space. She's a strong woman. So let's, support her, show that support for her. Um, and let's see. So, oh, we today, so also in the process, we've had a couple of celebrities arrested. Portia Williams was arrested. Yandy was arrested. Yandy Smith. YBN. Um, Corday was arrested. So it's like it was so many things going on. They were arrested for fighting for the injustice, fighting for an arrest for Breonna Taylor's murderers. So they want the police taken off the force. They want them arrested. And instead, they got arrested and they got charged with a federal crime, which is crazy because there was another group that actually went to this same house of this prosecutor and hung a whole little fake black doll of him and with a sign, and they knocked on windows and all types of stuff. They weren't arrested. They weren't charged. So it's definitely seeming like there is some type of double standard there. So yeah, let's sip on that. Oh my god, this peach tea is delicious. It's more peach than tea, but it's a little tea in there. Um, so moving on from there, let's talk about what's going on. Oh, and in the process, I have on another video in detail about Yandy and Mendici. So, tune into that. It's on the other video about what happened there. And it's also posted on Come Together _ social media at Come Together _ social media on Instagram. So join that. Join our group on Facebook. Let's join the conversation. Why? Because conversation brings change. So we have to create change in our community. We have to support Black businesses. We have to address the crime, a lot of things that are going on in the community. So we don't always talk about celebrities. I don't want you all to think that, because that's not true. We talk about activism, we talk about businesses in the community, and you'll see that as we go along. But this week has been about celebrities because they have just been in the forefront this week. So, speaking of not per se celebrities, but on the political side, we have mayor versus governor in the state of Georgia. So, Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms was diagnosed with COVID. I'm gonna sip on that. That's some serious tea. That's a serious situation, and I'm glad she's okay because she doesn't have any symptoms. So she says she doesn't have any symptoms, thank God. But afterwards, she was like, look, you got to wear your mask. Y'all, I got to show you my mask. Can you bring my mask? I'm going to show you guys my mask because I have so many, but this is one that I love because, I love this mask. But many people were like, you know what? It's fine that it's going to be mandatory in Atlanta to wear a mask. That's not it. And so it's fine that it's going to be mandatory. I don't mind. It is what it is. It's my army fatigue one that goes over my face. So it doesn't matter. And then some people are like, look, no, I don't want to wear a mask. I don't want to be required to wear a mask because it gets in my throat and in my nose and then I can't breathe and all of that good stuff. And so some people have been diagnosed with stuff because they're breathing in so much, whatever. So the next thing is, so the governor's like, no, it's not required. It's not mandatory. Y'all are tripping. It's not mandatory. So I'm looking for my mask though. So then she's like, look, no, it's mandatory in Atlanta. If you're in Atlanta, you got to wear a mask. So the mayor responds, the governor responds, and it's Governor Brian Kemp. He responds, I promise you it was in here. Governor Brian Kemp responds and says that he is suing the mayor over requiring people to wear a mask. Yes, you heard me right. So I'm getting ready to pull it up for you guys. So the governor is suing the mayor. So it's like ding ding. I'm going to do my own little music in here. Ding ding. So we've got governor versus mayor. So the governor says, he says, we will fight to keep these reckless actions and put people over pandemic politics. So then Mayor Keisha Lance Bottom responds with, so let me go back. The lawsuit filed Thursday asserts that Kemp alone um, leads in the state of Georgia in its fight against the worldwide novel coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic, and adds he has the power to suspend municipal orders that are contradictory to any state law or his executive orders. As the mayor of the city of Atlanta, Keisha Lance Bottoms does not have the legal authority to modify, change, or ignore Governor Kemp's executive orders. So he says the lawsuit is on behalf of the Atlanta business owners and their hardworking employees who are struggling to survive during these difficult times. So the law, and her response was, "I am not afraid of the city being sued." So she's not afraid of the city being sued, y'all. She's not afraid. Notice she said the city, not her. She said she's good over there. You have to excuse my wild hair sticking out of my braids. That's my bangs. So, meanwhile, what's your thoughts about it? Is it beneficial to Georgia for our mayor and our governor to be fighting over something as simple as a mask? Is it that big of a deal? Um, so, yeah, I don't. Let's see. I'm going to let you guys comment on Come Together _social media. So please join, please follow if you're listening. Yes, I want to hear from you guys. Yeah, so it's a lot going on. But with our celebrities and everything, this week, like I said, has been a week. It has been a week, a week, a week, a week. And with Mendici and Yandy, Yandy was there for, let's go back to that. Yandy was there for Mendici when he was arrested and he was in jail and he was doing time. Not per se arrested, but he was doing time. And he had to do a stint. He had to do a certain amount of time in jail. And Yandy was there. She was protesting then. So this is Yandy, the activist. And I love her as a businesswoman and as a mom and as an activist. But in this process of her being arrested the other night, at the same time, simultaneously, he was on a dating app. Now, that being said, I know that some celebrities are on dating apps, like I remember during the and they're paid to be on the app. It's like I remember during COVID, it was what is his name? Common, having a whole little dating segment with the actress. You guys know the name. I can't think of it. The actress who is a comedian and she's in a lot of stuff. So they were doing a lot of stuff. Y'all know who she is, or you know who she is. Definitely comment. But anyway. So I don't know if he's getting paid to be on there. That's my theory. But for that to be going on at the same time that, your significant other is being arrested, it's kind of poor timing. Yeah. So share your thoughts. Like, do you feel it's poor timing? Do you feel that that's good behavior? Like, that's the way, would that be what he would want while he's in prison? Like, when he was doing time, would he want Yandy to be on dating apps with her name, like your name? And it was just his face. It was just his name. I know that someone else mentioned it and they were like, look, I saw your man on the dating app, what's going on her page. And her response was, we're on there together. But at this time, the other day, you were in prison at that time. You were being arrested. That was the same night you were arrested. So, yeah. So I think that being in the public eye, and to close out, thanks for tuning in to Come Together. I think that being in the public eye and being an activist and being a influencer or anybody in the community, you're going to face so much scrutiny, from Will to Jada, from Yandy to so many different people, and that's why I try to share the news and information from, um, you know, Megan, mentioned everything and wanted to be transparent and clear stuff up, but she never quite said who actually shot her. This is one of those who shot JR moments. But we know that what we do know is there was a disturbance. The police saw her foot bleeding, and that's when they decided to search. So it's been a lot that's unfolded about that night. But the thing about it is, um, share your thoughts. We'll talk about it more. Many people are asking, who shot Megan? Um, um, because the gentleman in the car was arrested. So that's interesting too. And her manager ended up threatening him, and he's well known. And so people are asking, well, were they dating? And so she's very tongue in cheek and saying what's necessary, but not sharing anything else. The one thing she wanted people to know was I was not arrested. She was like, look, I wasn't arrested. I was put in the cop car because they escorted me to the hospital. Um, and that makes sense. But people want to know more because they care and fans care. They want to know what's going on where. So you can go on the Come Together page and you will be able to see. I don't know if you can see this zooming in here. But there is a picture of Mendici on the dating app with the young lady, and it's like the light is messing it up. So you can see her, but you can't see him. So let me see if this will help. If that will help. Let's see. Let's see. There we go. I don't know if you can see the silhouette of him, but that's him. So, but again, the picture is actually on Come Together. So you guys talk and share, and the main thing about it is within our community as Black men and women, we need to support each other and offer that same equal support. If she was there to hold you down, even if that's your job, it's a time and place for everything, and that time is not at the middle of the night when she's being arrested. So yeah, thanks for watching Come Together. Thanks for sipping some tea with me. I am your host, Tierney Greer. Cheers. This is our show on YouTube and our show on Come Together social media on Instagram, and you can listen to us on Spotify and on the streaming sites. So tune in to us, Anchor. So I look forward to seeing you soon. I am your host. Have a good night.